Let's bring in epidemiologist and ABC News medical contributor Dr. John Brownstein for more on this. Dr. Brownstein, good morning. AstraZeneca's new data shows efficacy against symptomatic COVID dropped slightly to 76% compared to the 79% they reported earlier, but they're still claiming 100% in preventing severe disease and hospitalization. Why the discrepancy here? Why the different numbers, and how much does that 3% matter?
Yeah, I mean, overall, of course, it doesn't matter a lot. There's been a lot of confusion, a lot of back and forth. Finally, we have this new sort of primary efficacy analysis that aligns with the Data and Safety Monitoring Board. We're at 76% efficacy, but remember, 85% for those 65 and over, and that 100% efficacy against severe disease, hospitalization, and death. Most importantly, of course, no safety concerns. And so what ultimately has happened is that the endpoints, the numbers of cases went up from 141 to 191, but it really doesn't change very much. We should still remember this is data by press release, and so we need to be reassured that the FDA is going to comb through the data once they have access to it, and we'll get a full readout. This is more about sloppy communication and building trust. It's the same results overall. This is a great vaccine, and it's going to be a great one to add into the mix, whether it's in the US or purely globally.
So President Biden is reportedly looking to set a new target now, higher than his initial 100 million shots in 100 days goal. How fast do you think we can vaccinate most eligible Americans? What would you recommend as a new goal?
Yeah, I mean, just remember this. 9 weeks ago, we had about 8% of people over 65 had gotten their first shot. Now, that number is over 70%. We've done incredibly well to roll out this vaccine, especially recently. But I think we can get to 200 million in 100 days. I mean, we're administering about 2.5 million doses per day, and that's going to improve. We've got 29 states expanding their eligibility. We've got 500 million COVID vaccines expected to be in the pipeline by May. So we just have to make sure that it's done equitably, right? This, just by opening up more vaccines, we don't want to leave certain populations behind just because you can click refresh on a website all day. That might give you an advantage over the people that don't have that time or access to technology. That's why the importance of community vaccination centers, mobile clinics, of course, the pharmacies. We need to fill in those vaccine deserts. And of course, we also have to be concerned that, the supply doesn't overtake demand, and this is where hesitancy comes in. We know there are pockets of this country that are still not clear that they should get this vaccine, so a lot of communication needs to be done in addition to the rollout to get to that sort of 200 million number.
Now, several places are reporting a rise in cases, even a rise in hospitalizations in some areas. Overall, though, it seemed like we were on the right track. So why do you think we're seeing these pocketed rises, and how do we stop that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's partly related to this false sense of security. They're seeing this increase in cases while, we're having this rapid reopening that's taking place. Cases have really plateaued in the country, around 55,000 a day. This is a combination of the opening, increased mobility, but also the spread of new variants. We're seeing this B.1.1.7 that is gradually becoming the dominant strain. And unfortunately, that actually has potentially higher mortality than the baseline strain that we had circulating. And this is playing out a little bit in Michigan, where we're seeing this increase in hospitalizations. That's really taking place among the unvaccinated population, the younger age groups, the 30 to 49. That's a bit concerning because, of course, that is a population that we just need to get that vaccine rolled out. So, we can look to Israel, where finally they're vaccinating the younger populations. It's finally showing that, hospitalizations are going down across the board. And just one reminder, the vaccines work well against B.1.1.7, so we shouldn't, have that hold us up from getting the vaccine when it's ready for you.
And I have some viewer questions for you now. These are questions that people sent to me on Twitter. The first is, what do we know about long-term side effects from the current vaccines?
So we should remember that side effects are very, very rare, the serious ones. And, especially when you look at previous vaccines, side effects really happen in the first few days, weeks of having the vaccine. There's really no signs that there are any long-term issues. And of course, remember, we've been testing these vaccines since mid-2020 and have shown incredible safety results. We've not been cutting any corners. And so these are incredible trials, but also now we have hundreds of millions of people that have had these vaccines. Again, safety data has looked incredibly good. I mean, of course, there's the mild side effects that you want, the fever, the headache, to show that the vaccines are working. But overall, there is no data to support any long-term consequences of these vaccines.
All right, Dr. Brownstein, I'm told we're out of time. We will continue with viewer questions the next time we chat. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.